Hello! So here are the explanations for the opinion video, which is your first speaking evaluation, and it's going to be worth 10%. It's a similar topic to the opinion paragraph, so you should be okay. So it is due the week after the reading week, so week 6. And it will be on assignments on Teams, so you will have the due date on there as well. Okay. So the topic, as I said, is quite similar to what you did in the paragraph, but I want it to be a bit more personal. So it's a personal response, less academic in a sense in the sense that you can actually use the first person and refer back to you and say things like, in my opinion. Yes, you can say that. Okay, I want about 3 minutes. Don't do 6 or 7, okay? If I ask for a 3 minimum, stick to around 3, okay? In video format. Again, you hand it in on Teams. It has to be respectful. This, I don't think I have to really put emphasis on that, but make it, like, be presentable and stay polite. But yeah, being presentable would be the minimum, okay? So as I said, you can use the first person. You can use notes. I don't want you to read a text. This is supposed to be natural, okay? It's supposed to be like if we were having a conversation, but I would not respond, okay? So it's really natural language that I'm looking for, okay? You can't read a text, as I said. I don't want you to recite a text either. Don't learn it by heart, okay? You guys are comfortable enough with the language not to need to rely on a whole text being learned by heart. You can have keywords in your head, you can use notes, as I said, but don't recite a full text. It will take forever and it won't be really natural. Okay? Ideas for questions, you can extrapolate on the overall topic. So you can use some of the content that you used in the opinion paragraph. You can use some of it and apply it to yourself. So questions like, how will your generation impact the work market? And I say your generation, it's not necessarily the same generation for all students, because I know I have a few older students in some of the classes. So your generation, or if your generation is already on the work market, maybe look past on how it has impacted the work market and is still impacting it. This could be an interesting reflection. So what are your own personal strengths as an employee? What will make you a good employee or a good employer? If you want to be a boss, talk to me about it. Why do you want to be a boss? And what would make you a good boss? Please do. What will you personally bring to a work environment? For example, what do you bring right now? What's your strength? What do you bring now in your job, if you have a job? What's the positive side of your behavior or your person, basically, in a work environment? I'd like to hear about that. Another interesting question to consider, what would you say to people who keep criticizing your generation or young people in general? You know, there are some people, and there have been for ages, people who say the next generation is lazy, entitled, they won't do anything, and the world keeps going on anyway. So I disagree entirely, by the way. I think you guys are actually quite inspiring as a generation, especially these days. You have to show a lot of resilience, a lot of self-discipline, and I am quite impressed with you guys. So I completely would disagree with those people, but what would you tell them? Okay, being respectful and all. Okay, so this is the general topic I want you to talk about for 3 minutes. And you will be evaluated on 3 aspects for this one. So the further along we go, the more elements I will be looking at. But in that case, grammar, pronunciation, and fluency. So grammar, pay attention to the third person S, for example. The plurals, you pronounce the S. Some of the verb tenses, the possessives, okay? You can review if you're not quite sure. And I mean, it's a video, so you can actually listen to it, watch the video after, and you can do it again if you're not happy with your first rendition. Pronunciation, which we talked about. Careful with the TH, the S, the ED, the H, and some of the technical terms you might not know. Look at where you need to find the stress and the intonation. Pronunciation, for example. Okay, fluency is your rate, your ease with the language. Is it natural? Do you read? Big no. So no reading, no reciting a text, as I said. So are you comfortable, or do you keep saying well, all the time? So do you hesitate a lot in your language? So these are all elements I'm looking for when I'm grading fluency, sorry. So that's it. That's it for the opinion video. So send me a message if you have questions, and it will be my pleasure to help you out again.